So how do you guys know when it's time to go full-time lawn care? Well, I can positively say this. When I knew I was going to go full-time lawn care, I knew that, well, I knew it almost immediately because there was not any jobs in my field out anywhere. So, and to me, now everybody does their own thing, but to me, if I'm starting a lawn care business, there ain't no way that I'm gonna go full time going into October. I have to wait till spring again and just kind of sit back and build my money up, get my equipment right, make sure do my marketing or whatever. You don't want to start in October, you know, going full time, because you get hungry out here, man, because it's a lot, man, to do in the to make it through the winter. And it sounds good right now while you're the weekend warrior and you've got a paycheck coming and you're making twice as much money cutting grass on the weekends and off days. But if it's your sole income, well, you might want to wait until April or May. That's just my thinking. So you can assess everything, assess what you need, and do your little marketing and all that. That's just my tip. If you're itching to start your own gig, and y'all know you itching. Anybody that's even half of a hustler is always itching to be in control of their own destiny, to be in control of what jobs you take, to be in control of your life. There's many folks watching these videos that see my videos and other lawn care videos that undercover, they're saying, damn, I wish I could do that. You know who you are. Damn, I wish I could get out there and be and not have to go hit that freaking clock tomorrow, man. Damn, I wish I could do that. And the biggest thing that stops people from doing most anything is fear of the unknown. That's true. It's fear of change. But there's a lot of people working for the man right now that would love to be doing what you see a lot of us guys doing out here. I mean, and it's a lot of hard work too, and a lot of unseen things too. We try to glorify all of it in doing YouTube. Well, I don't, but a lot of the other YouTube guys, they glorify a lot of what it is out here to be on your own and living off the land. And it's very rewarding, to say the least. But there's a lot of things you got to think about too. So a lot of unseen things. Yeah. But a lot of people want, they want to be in charge. Everybody's not built for it though. But I knew that I was going to be doing it full time because there wasn't no other work out there for me. And though it didn't start out as going into the lawn care business, I was just doing whatever, and But mowing grass was one of the things that I knew that I could do. I didn't know that I could make a living at it. It never even occurred to me, you know, until I started seeing what these big commercial mowers can cut, and how easy they make things, and you know, having the machines and all, but you got to take a chance. And you know, I know there's a lot of folks watch the videos and they are just itching to do this, to be out here, and I don't blame you. When I look at you know, like my family members and stuff that go to a job every day, I think to myself, man, I'm so glad I ain't got to do that. Well, Ray, you work twice as long as they work and work a lot more hours than they work, blah, blah, blah. That's true, man. It takes a lot, but it ain't like work, man. When everything that you make, you have a decision to make on what you do with the money to make more money. And you're basically just making money today to live better tomorrow. That's basically what you're doing. And there's no way that I'm going to get a job, a 9 to 5, making the kind of money that I make out here. No way. And if I got a job making the kind of money I make out here, or even close to it, it would suck up all my time. Well, Ray, being self-employed out there looks like it's sucking up all your time anyway. Well, it is, but I know that it's for me and not for somebody else. You know, I know that I'm going to reap the benefits that, well, I do already. You know, I have great security, and I have great peace of mind in what I'm doing. I'm not fearful. I don't have that scared feeling in my stomach, you know, about my bills and all that, like I did when I started. We're all afraid of the unknown. And one thing about YouTube is it allows you to see some of the unknown. It's unknown to you, but is very well known by guys like me and some other guys, you know, on that do videos. See, I wouldn't know how to go punch a clock. I wouldn't even know how to do that anymore. I don't think that I could ever, and I don't like to say ever, but I don't think that I could ever go back and work for the man again. In the sense that I was before. Once you start this kind of thing that I'm doing, and once you see just a little bit of success, knowing that you can do it, then it makes you pour even more into it. And I'm not talking about money so much, but there is some. I'm talking about heart, soul, tenacity, and effort. It takes a lot to do what I do. And maintain from year to year. It's tricky. But there's plenty of resources out there. But the biggest resource is inside you. You know? I've learned over the years that I would be successful at anything that I put my brain to, that I put my mind to. I will be successful at. I am built that way. Some people are not built that way. Some people learn to get that way. I'm built that way, to where I don't have doubts. I don't have a lot of doubts in my ability. Now I have doubts in some stuff that I get into, but they're quickly overcame by the tenacity that I bring to the table and learning from every job. And I'm not talking about the mowing so much, though I do learn a lot from the mowing. But the biggest thing I learned from the mowing is how to be efficient and incorporate more work into a day so you can make more money. That's the biggest thing with mowing. First of all, you got to establish that you can make a living at it. That's the first thing you got to establish. I would not recommend quitting my job in October. That's just me. Because then you're going to get a false reading of what's happening around you. You're going to get scared and spooked, and by the time February rolls around, you've been and got your job back. And then you may not ever make it back out here again. Put yourself in the best scenario to really see what's up. Don't put yourself in a scenario where you are going into the winter where there's no work and nobody's calling you for work. Make sure that you put yourself in a position to where if it fails, then you know you did everything you possibly could as far as your timing and everything goes. Don't start a lawn care business in October. That to me, that is not smart. If you got a job and you got bills and you got a good paying job, that you're going to quit to do lawn care. Start your business and do it a little on the weekends and stuff. But when you get ready to make that transition from weekend warrior to full-time operator out here, make sure you're in the best position to win. So you are less likely to fail, less likely to get discouraged. If you start your business in October, full-time, okay, you cut grass till the end of October. Now what? November rolled around, you do leaf cleanups. Okay, now what? Christmas rolled around, you broke. Can't even buy Christmas. Or you're so worried about how you're going to make it that you got to go back out and get a job again because the work's gotten out there. And you haven't had the time, because you had a full-time job, you haven't had the time to market and develop enough customers to where you can get through in the lean times. See, for me, the wintertime used to be really scary. I mean, I had been doing this for 8 or 9 years, and going into the winter was always scary for me. And I had 8 or 9 years experience out here. And every winter I'd still get spooked. Every single winter. I never had to go get a job, but that was just by the mere fact that I know how to manage my money, and I'm a hustler, and I did firewood and stuff, things that are outside the normalcy of lawn care, right? Well, as I got a little bit older, you know, after, year, I don't know, 11 or so, my body started having problems with doing enough firewood to make a living. See, I had to make a living, and in the wintertime, I couldn't do it. I got to where after I hit my mid 40s, I couldn't do enough firewood, and I didn't have big land or nothing either to get the trees from. And that was my other hustle, was firewood. But the biggest hustle was making sure I pay all my bills through the winter when I'm making money in the summer. And if you are working part-time out here and you want to go full-time, well, see, you haven't done all of that. These are things that you learn as you go. And again, if you're going to start a lawn care business full-time, don't do it right now. Right now, what you need to be doing is talking to the customers that you got for the weekend warriors, talking to the customers that you got now, trying to get them to spread the word a little bit and let all them know that you're going to be going full-time next season. And if they know anybody, you know, word of mouth, blah, blah, blah. Getting your equipment right, making sure you got a good trailer, making sure that you got, you know, weed eaters and edgers and blowers and all that. And they don't have to be top of the line stuff, you know. But if you can afford a top of the line, then get top of the line. If you can't afford top of the line, then work your way to that. But you don't have to have the equipment that you see everybody on YouTube have. You're not going to buy a weed eater much better than a steel weed eater, and at, you know, $300 to $400. If spending $300 to $400 is something that's going to stop you from being self-employed or not, then you ain't ready. That's what that says. Now, of course, you don't have to have the kind of mowers that you see I got. I didn't. But you need, if you're going to be doing this full time, you need to aspire to eventually get into the commercial line mowers. Well, Ray, I can make plenty of money on my Troy belt. Yeah, you can. You sure can. No doubt. But you can make 3 times as much with a commercial mower in less time. That's what you're trying to do. So, I'm not saying go out there and spend $50,000 on equipment. I didn't. I'm saying build up. So, for sure, if you got a tractor mower right now and you plan on going full time, you best be damn trying to figure out another mower, because the tractor mower is not going to let you be all you can be out here full time in doing lawn maintenance. Yeah, you can make a living. I know I'm gonna have people coming in the comment, you ain't gotta have all that fancy equipment. No, you don't. But don't you want to put yourself in the best scenario to make the most money, considering it's going to be your livelihood, your job, your everything, to feed your kids and to support the family, your wife and whatever? Isn't it worthy of having commercial equipment? It's not mandatory in the beginning, but you want to aspire to be that. You don't want to be that guy, and I'm not saying, it's not a dig at nobody. You don't want to be that guy that at 10 years in is still dealing with homeowner mowers, thinking they're making top dollar when they're not, because they can't, because they haven't invested in the business. They haven't invested. How do they know how much money they can make with a Skag or an X-Mark when they're running around with a couple of Troy belts? Yeah, they can make a living. But isn't it worthy of your time, energy, effort, and livelihood? This is what you're going to be doing, man. You're going to spend more time in your job, entrepreneur job, than you do anywhere else in your life. Don't you want to have the best equipment that you can afford? Well, I can't afford no $10,000, $11,000, $12,000 lawnmower. You build up to that. I don't know of many people that come into this game with $10,000 or $15,000 lawnmowers. I certainly didn't. I had the homeowner zero turns and the John Deere tractor mowers. But I realized real quick after I got that first commercial mower, that first X-Mark, I realized all the money that I've been missing. I said missing. I thought I was making a lot of money. I thought I was making great time. because I didn't have anything to compare it to. So instead of jumping ship on your full-time job in October, just ride through the winter on your full-time job and putting the money where it needs to be to get your equipment and your customer base to where you can at least make a living. And it's not so hard on you financially. Every dollar that you make in your full-time job that you don't have to put out on your bills and stuff, you need to bank it and get your equipment right. Try to buy, you know, whatever you need that you don't have. I would never suggest that somebody coming out here their first season buy a $15,000 lawnmower. I would never suggest that. I don't think that that's a smart thing to do. But after you realize that you know that this is what you're going to be doing for your livelihood, you know, then, and only you know that, then you need to figure it out. Okay, now for me to do $500 a day, I can't do that with a tractor mower. So now that I know that I'm going to be doing this, I done went a season or two, and I done went through the grind of these homeowner mowers breaking down and blah, 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 and I see that I can make a good living at it. Now I think it's time to invest in the business, because right now with this tractor mower or this homeowner edition mower, I'm able to get by. But I'm not able to do any more work because I don't have time, because I'm taking me too long. So now I'm stuck until I buy a more efficient mower that's designed for the rigors of being out here in the heat and the thick, wet grass that we cut. It's just some things to think about when you're trying to decide whether you want to do this full-time or not. And nobody is saying that you have to have commercial mowers and all coming into the game, because you don't. I didn't. But in order to grow and to make really good money, might make good money, but to make really good money with minimal downtime, you're going to eventually, if you're going to be doing this for a living, you're going to eventually want to get to the commercial mowers, because there's no, it's not even close, man. Not even close. You think it is, because you ain't never had no $10,000, $12,000 lawnmower. When I got my first commercial mower, I thought that $8,000, $8,900, whatever I paid for, I thought that was freaking stupid to spend that kind of money on a lawnmower. I said, there's no freaking way I'm doing that. And then after I eventually did that, my only regret was the fact that I didn't do it 3 years earlier. That was my only regret. Because once I got the commercial mower, there was no stopping me. Then it becomes about you and your tenacity and what you bring to the table as far as gung-ho and doing what you got to do to provide for your family. And if you got kids and all, well, that would motivate me even more, to even be more than I would be if I didn't have kids, because there's no plan B for me. And if you get out here and get started in this, it's hard to stop, because it can be really lucrative one day, and then you know, when you're starting out, it can be really lucrative one day and you see that, and then lose money the next day. And then you see that, and it makes you, well, it makes you seasoned after years of that. It makes you understand what you need to do not to lose. There ain't no losing out here as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to win. I'm going to win the battle, whatever it is, whether it's with myself, equipment, help, or the customers. I'm going to win that battle because I'm not going to stop until I do. And if you don't think like that and know that you can do it, don't bother, man. Just keep punching that clock. And just keep watching the YouTube videos of people that did take the chance, of people that did jump out there in a belief that they could do this. And then keep thinking about what if, to hell with some what if. If you get your ducks in a row, you pull the trigger. And you don't look back. I don't look back. There's no way that I would ever go to work for a company again unless something happens to me physically out here. Heart attack or something really bad happens. It would take something really bad for me to stop. This is my baby. And I'm not going to let it fail. And once you commit to something like this, it's a serious business, then you won't let it fail either. Once you taste success just a little bit, then you'll understand what it takes to be more successful and to take that next step, the next step, the next step, the next step, the next step, to where you're looking at that job in the rearview mirror and you're saying, what the hell was I thinking? What the hell was I doing? It's so true, y'all. Pray about it. It's Ray. Kick back.